Japan's net fishing industry is one of the oldest and most traditional industries, closely linked to the lives of millions of fishermen and coastal fishing villages. Japan, with its terrain surrounded by sea, possesses one of the largest exclusive economic zones in the world, along with rich seafood resources stretching from the cold waters of northern Hokkaido to the warm waters of Okinawa. Thanks to this diversity, Japan's net fishing industry has developed into an extremely complex system, combining traditional techniques and modern technology, helping this country become one of the world's leading fisheries powers. On the docks every early morning, when the sun has just risen above the horizon, the rumbling of fishing boat engines mixed with the sound of waves lapping at the shore creates a unique scene that only those who have been to Japanese fishing villages can feel. Fishing boats of all kinds. From small inshore fishing boats to large offshore fishing boats with huge purse seine nets, busily leave port in the morning mist. For the Japanese people, fishing is not only a way to make a living, but also an inseparable part of their culture and national identity. For hundreds of years, fishermen have learned to read the waves, understand the currents, recognize the fishing season and know exactly when to cast their nets. This knowledge has been passed down from generation to generation, distilled from each arduous voyage. The types of nets used in the Japanese fishing industry vary widely, depending on the type of fish and the sea area. One of the most common is the purse seine, which is used to catch tuna, sardines, mackerel, and herring. This type of net is hundreds of meters long, even kilometers long. When dropped, it forms a large circle around the school of fish, then is pulled back by a steel cable at the bottom to close the net. This is one of the most effective methods for catching large numbers of fish moving in schools. Japanese purse seine vessels are often equipped with radar systems, sonar, and sensors to detect schools of fish, helping to accurately determine the location of schools of fish moving underwater. When a school of fish is detected, the captain will order the crew to deploy the net. A small boat called a skiff will pull the head of the net away from the mother ship. Forming a circle, once the net has surrounded the school of fish, the cable at the bottom is pulled back by a hydraulic winch. Closing the net, an entire school of fish weighing hundreds of tons is trapped in a giant net. The silver of the fish glittering in the sunlight like thousands of small mirrors reflecting. The crew works continuously, using winches to pull the net and scoops to scoop the fish onto the deck. Tons of fish are brought up, slid down the water chute and quickly sorted, then transferred to cold storage using ice or super cold seawater to preserve freshness. In addition to purse seine, trawl fishing is also very developed in Japan. Trawl nets are often used to catch bottom-dwelling species such as mackerel. Flounder, squid, shrimp, and small fish. A trawl ship is usually a large capacity, with a powerful winch and cable system to drag the net across the seabed for many hours. The structure of the trawl net consists of a wide mouth, held open by two wooden or metal doors, allowing the net to open to its maximum when moving underwater. Fish and bottom creatures will be caught in the net as the ship moves forward. After After a few hours, the crew pulls the net up, and a huge amount of seafood spills out onto the deck. This work requires strength, speed, and coordination between the sailors. Fishermen have to work in harsh conditions, in strong winds and waves, day and night. Although it is hard work, they always maintain a resilient spirit, because for them, the sea is a friend, a source of life, a place where they are attached to their whole life. In many regions such as Hokkaido, trawl nets are commonly used during the shrimp and squid fishing season. Fishermen often go out to sea for many days in a row, and the ships are equipped with freezers to preserve seafood immediately after catching. Every time the net is pulled up, hundreds of kilograms of squid or shrimp are poured onto the deck. The sailors quickly sort and select those that meet the standard size for export. The rest are shipped back to sell domestically. On those ships, the fishermen's lives take place in a closed manner. They eat, sleep, work and rest right on the ship. Simple meals of rice, dried fish, and miso soup are the source of energy to maintain their working capacity day and night. Although tired, when seeing the ship's hold full of fish, everyone feels filled with joy. In addition, gill net fishing also occupies an important position in the Japanese fisheries industry. Gill net has a simple but highly effective structure, and is usually let drift along the water current or fixed at a certain location. When fish swim through, they will be caught in the net by their gills and cannot escape. This method is suitable for catching salmon, cod, flounder and many other species. In the Hokkaido Sea, when salmon return to the river to spawn, hundreds of gill net boats go out to sea every day, every early morning. In addition, gill net fishing also occupies an important position in the Japanese fisheries industry. The gill net has a simple structure but is highly effective, often drifting along the water or fixed at a certain location. When fish swim through, they will be caught in the net by the gills, unable to escape. This method is suitable for catching salmon, cod, flounder and many other species. In the Hokkaido Sea, during the season when salmon return to the river to spawn, hundreds of gill net boats go out to sea every day, every early morning. Nets hundreds of meters long are dropped on the calm sea surface. Fishermen and patiently wait in the morning mist. When the sun rises, they start pulling the net. Each big, fat, silvery salmon is carefully removed and placed in an icebox. This scene has become a familiar image in Japanese culture, associated with northern fishing villages, and is considered a symbol of autumn in Hokkaido. Japan's trawling industry relies not only on traditional techniques but also heavily applies modern technology. Large fishing vessels today are equipped with GPS positioning systems. Multi-layer scanning sonar, sensors that detect water temperature and currents, helping captains accurately determine where fish schools are concentrated. This data is transmitted to a control center on land, where experts monitor and guide the vessels to adjust their positions. In addition, some companies also use drones or satellites to monitor the movement of tuna and herring schools, increasing fishing efficiency while ensuring sustainability. However, along with this development comes great challenges in protecting the marine environment and maintaining fishery resources. Japanese government has adopted many strict measures to control catches and prevent overfishing. Regulations on mesh size, fishing time, and prohibited areas are strictly enforced. Many localities have also implemented the rotational fishing model, that is, dividing the sea into many areas, each year exploiting only certain areas so that the remaining areas have time to recover. These efforts help maintain ecological balance and ensure that fisheries can continue to develop in the long term. In some small fishing villages, fishermen still maintain the traditional form of manual fishing with nets. They use small wooden boats, weave their own nets, and work entirely by hand. Although the output is not large, they are proud of maintaining traditional features and environmentally friendly fishing methods. These images, old fishermen with silver hair, pulling nets in the dawn light, in the middle of clear blue water, are symbols of the Japanese spirit of perseverance and respect for nature. The hundreds of tons of fish caught by Japanese fishermen using nets are the clearest image showing the scale, technique, and power of this world-leading seafood industry. Every fishing season, thousands of Japanese seine and tugboats set sail simultaneously, heading to distant seas, where schools of tuna, herring, sardines, mackerel migrate with the warm currents. That is the time when an entire marine economy begins to transform strongly. When the sea becomes an endless supply for the dining tables and processing factories of the land of the rising sun. On giant seine ships, each trip can last for weeks, even months. Each ship has a crew of 20 to 40 people, working around the clock in the middle of the vast ocean. When radar and sonar detect a school of fish moving below, the captain orders the sailors to deploy the net. A small boat broke away, pulling the net away from the mother ship, drawing a wide arc around the school of fish. As the net closed, the hydraulic winch system began to pull the cable at the bottom. Causing the net to gradually shrink like a giant bag. Inside, tens of thousands of tuna or herring were surrounded, forming a dense, silver mass that swirled under the water. The light reflected from the fish scales sparkled like thousands of pieces of mirror dancing in the waves. When that moment came, the entire crew was nervous, because they knew this could be a catch worth millions of yen. The giant machine started working. The sound of the engine roared. The steel cables were taut like strings. Water splashed all over the deck. The net was slowly pulled up, weighed down by hundreds of tons of fish. Each block of fish was scooped up by a mechanical bucket or a water pump and poured into the hold. The fish slid across the wet deck. The sailors quickly used shovels to push them onto the sorting conveyor belt. In the middle of the ocean, under the powerful headlights, they work non-stop. Those in the front control the nets. Those in the back freeze and preserve them. In a few hours, the entire ship turns into a floating factory, operating continuously to keep the freshness of hundreds of tons of fish just caught. For seine vessels specializing in catching tuna in the Pacific Ocean, each net can catch from 100 to 300 tons of fish. Long-bodied tuna weighing tens of kilograms are hoisted onto the deck, quickly slaughtered and preserved in freezers at -60 degrees Celsius. These ships often sail for months, only docking when the freezer compartment is full. Some of the fish are exported to Europe and the US. The rest are brought to factories in Shizuoka, Misaki or Okinawa to be processed into sashimi, canned tuna or used as food for other industries. Not only tuna, Japanese fishermen also have huge herring and sardine harvests. In winter and early spring, when schools of herring migrate to the waters of Hokkaido to spawn, hundreds of purse-seine boats gather offshore, creating a spectacular sight. From afar, the sea surface is almost covered by dozens of purse-seine boats, each boat shining its lights as brightly as day. The giant schools of herring are so dense that the water turns blue-black. Seething as if there are undercurrents. When the captain gives the signal, the entire system of winches, mooring lines, and buoys operates at the same time. The net closes. The sound of waves mixes with the sound of engines. The fish are pushed into the middle and gradually pulled up. Tons of shimmering herring slide down the hold. The sea salt vapor mixed with the smell of fresh fish creates a unique flavor that only seafarers are familiar with. Some nights, a boat can collect more than 150 tons of fish, enough to supply an entire processing plant for many days. The trawl boats are no less impressive. In the Japanese Sea, especially around Hokkaido and the Sea of Japan, trawlers specializing in catching mackerel, flounder, shrimp and squid are active. Each trawl can collect dozens of tons of fish at a time. And after several trawls, the yield easily exceeds 100 tons. When the net is pulled up, a huge mass of seafood falls onto the deck, forming a lively sea of fish. Fishermen have to work urgently, classify and freeze immediately. Sometimes they work in the cold below 0 degrees Celsius. Strong winds blowing in their faces. But no one stops. Each large catch means a high income, a worthy reward for days and nights drifting in the ocean. Those images are not only proof of the success of modern fishing techniques but also show the admirable working spirit of the Japanese. They work with precision, discipline and respect for nature. Despite annual production reaching millions of tons, Japan maintains strict regulations on quotas and protection of fishery resources. Each vessel is only allowed to fish within the area it has been licensed to fish. And must report its catch. Companies with large fleets also invest in sustainable fishing techniques, such as using large mesh nets to avoid catching juvenile fish, or using positioning devices to avoid areas with rare species. The sight of a haul of hundreds of tons of fish being pulled up in the middle of the ocean is a majestic picture, where people and the sea become one.